Hello, everyone, and welcome to RealmCast, your very own Realm of the Mad God podcast, where we'll be discussing everything Realm of the Mad God. You are here with your GMs,
Zbornox,
Tiffy Tiff,
and me, Dash Ahead. We're also joined by
Willem and Travis.
And thanks for sitting down with us today, guys.
Good to be here.
So, we're just doing this to try and connect with fans and give you guys a little insight into what we're doing here. So we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves a little bit. And I'm going to put Zbornox on the spot yet again.
So here I am. And the first thing you might notice is I am female. So we'll start with that.
I guess we can start there. A lot of the players seem to think that Zbornox is a guy, and they are still very much in love with you, Zbornox.
Right. Which I appreciate. However, I am female, and I really enjoy Santa Claus and also mini golf.
And do you want to talk about the name Zbornox a little bit?
Sure. That was picked up from a combination between my two favorite Golden Girls characters, Dorothy Zbornak and Blanche Devereaux. And so I made the X at the end of Devereaux go into Zbornak so that it's Zbornox, but I don't say Zborno, I say Zbornox because I really like the oxy sound within my mouth.
Oxy sound.
Yeah, we've gone through this before. You like names like Socks.
Yeah,
and
I like
Fox.
Socks and Fox and Knox and
Rocks,
Talks, and
Locks.
Smocks. I was really excited in kindergarten to get a smock. And
You got several smocks in kindergarten?
I don't know. It was a while ago. And so there's where the name comes from.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I was amazed at how quickly our forum members figured out that reference. I would never have thought of it, but
I agree.
you agree that I would never have thought of it?
No, I agree that I was pretty surprised at the fast pace that they picked up on the name.
Okay, seeing as this room is hot, and I'm sweating up a storm, we're going to move on to Tiffy Tiff. You want to talk a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My real name, as you may have guessed it, is Tiffany, and yeah, that's about it. Right now, currently, I'm training for 2 races. It's a half marathon.
What sort of races? Oh.
A half marathon. So I'm training for that. It's pretty painful right now because I just started, but hopefully I'll ramp up.
So how long is the half marathon?
It's 13.1 miles.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many miles can you run right now?
I'm at 2.
So is a normal marathon 26.2
It's 26.2, yeah.
And I ran that before too, as well. And
Wow.
I'll probably never do that again. That was brutal.
What was your time?
My time was a little over 3 hours.
Oh, whoa, that's really good. That's really good.
Were there any oranges on the course while you were running?
There were oranges.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Oh, wow. So we're going to move on a little bit from marathon running, and let's talk to Willem.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
So I'm Willem. You might know me in-game from the name Willem, which I use in-game as well as in real life. I'm the game designer, and I've been working with everyone here at Kabam to come up with new content and new stuff in general for Realm.
Travis, you want to jump in a little bit? Or?
Sure. So I am Travis. People in the game might know me as Boosh.
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 I know you as Boosh.
Oh, yeah. So people in real life also know me as Boosh as well. I am...
Don't talk about yourself too much because we're going to talk to you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't want to double
Keep it
up.
secret and mysterious.
Yeah.
so I guess we'll delve into my
Yeah.
mysterious past.
Save it for later. Okay, well, that's awesome. Thanks for sitting down with us, guys and girls and everyone. I guess I could talk about myself. I'm Dash Ahead. I'm one of the GMs. I don't really have too much to say. I don't like hyping myself up, but I'm enjoying doing this podcast for everyone, so thanks. So let's move on a little bit, jump into some news about the game. We'll start with some community news, and then we'll move on to game news. And Willem, you can try and lead the game news if it's possible.
Sure.
Yeah. So on the community side, we've been hosting lots of events on the forums and in-game, and one such event that just ended recently was our Design a Class event, and that went really awesomely.
That went really well. We had tons of submissions, and we really appreciate you guys participating in them. It really means a lot.
Means a lot.
So I've got here the winning classes to show to Willem and Travis to see what you guys have to say about them. So the first of them is the Hypnotist.
And that was the first place winner.
That was the first place winner, designed by Ryler. I'm not sure. I think that's a default name in the game. The Hypnotist, you can see on the second page about him. He charms enemies and has them fight against each other, and that's his ability, which is actually very cool and unique and something that I thought we'd never be able to get into the game, but I've been told could possibly work.
Ooh.
Although we don't have any, just to preface this was a community-driven event.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really, it's just
100%.
for fun. It's just for fun, and we're in no way taking, necessarily just taking these submissions to put in the game. We just thought it would be a fun thing for you guys to do. If maybe someday some of these ideas that we think are really cool find their way into the game, but right now this has just been for fun. And I do think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool design. It's really cool seeing the amount of work that you guys put into this stuff.
Yeah, I thought people did awesomely
fantastic.
on their submissions.
Yeah.
They were super rad. And thanks for everyone who not only who designed them, but who came in and voted for the winners, because there were a lot of you.
We had 480 votes, and that's a ton of votes, and it was real awesome.
So that was the Hypnotist. That was the first place winner. The second place was the Warlock by Lego 2112. The Warlock, I don't actually quite understand why he is a Warlock specifically, but he is like a caster who summons a ring of like bullets as a protective shield around him. And the amount of bullets that the amount of damage that the bullets do varies depending on the level
So
of
is
your
this kind of
talents.
like a Mario Kart shell scenario?
Yeah, sort of like the green shells rotating around you or something like that.
Can you launch the
Nice.
bullets off?
Not according to his plan, but yeah, you should be able to launch those bullets, I think.
Will
Have
they
like a
turn into
blue bullet that
bananas?
homes into Oryx.
If they add a blue shell to Realm of the Mad God, I'm through. I'm done. I won't play with blue shells. Finally, we've got our third place submitted by Linkshot, and this is the Conjurer. And yet again, I'm not quite sure why he's called a Conjurer. You can take a look at him there. He like has an ability to shoot blasts of energy or something like that, which isn't really conjuring of anything.
He's
But-
conjuring energy.
Yeah, I guess
In
he's
a blast.
conjuring energy into a blast. Yeah, sure. That might be a conjuration spell in classical D&D. I'm not sure.
Not
But-
well versed.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. You can look at the rest of that. But so those were really cool.
Yeah, they were really neat. Also, shouts out to one of my favorites, Classy Blob, which I thought for the longest time was Classy Bob.
Wait. You're telling me he's not classy, Bob?
Yeah,
It's Blob.
It's Blob.
B-L-O-B.
And
Did we write classy Bob
Yeah.
in the poll?
Right,
'Cause-
and then the person who created him did send me a message, and I did spell it correctly then. But seriously, the I, everything, I actually really want to use that as my signature. So to the person who created this, can I use it for a signature?
Yeah, can we all use classy Bob in our signatures, though? Not classy Blob.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to him, but that was awesome. The poet
Okay,
was another-
let's each say our favorite. So
Okay.
that Tiff,
Okay.
what was your favorite class?
Oh, I liked the Eskimo one.
Oh,
That
you,
was
you stole
cool.
mine. Okay, well then this list is over. I also say Eskimo and Classy Blob is done too. So, okay, well that was that event. It was really fun,
Yeah.
and we're hoping to do lots more fun events like that in the future.
And we
Speaking
are
of
right
which,
now.
we're doing one right now. You want to talk about that, Tiff?
Oh yeah, so it's a meme event, and you need to create a meme that will, we could post up for our own meme.
So,
official meme.
I'm sorry.
Meme.
Meep meep. So one of the things you have to remember about this though is that it needs to be original. And so the picture itself has to come from Realm of the Mad God, not one of the already established meme photos.
So I don't want to see Fry from Futurama like any more times in these submissions because we just can't use that. That's not the official Realm of the Mad God meme. There's an example in there that Oryx threw together. Just look at Oryx and think about what you might want to do.
The idea is to create a totally new meme, not a realm-themed version of an existing one.
Exactly. A 100% new meme with a new name that we can use in Twitter and wherever we want.
And we did see a few. We saw a few original ones, and they really look good so far.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll be lucky and some 4chan dwellers will popularize it.
Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping for, actually. 4chan or Reddit picking it up.
We do have some 4chan people who hang out on their forums.
Awesome.
So if you're from 4chan, you're hanging out, go into the meme event and submit a new meme. Okay, well, that's the meme thing.
Well, and that's due Thursday, July 26th at...
In July.
You're actually wrong. I think it's due Friday.
Oh, yeah,
the
Friday
27th
the 27th
at 11 a.m.
Pacific time. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the Iron Man challenge that we helped host this weekend. Both Spornox and I helped with that. Do you remember who organized that? Was it Linkshot?
Atomic.
Was it Atomic Robo 7?
Yes. Yeah. She was the one that got that started. They did. There was a whole write-up about it in the forums. There was 10 wine cellars a day, and we just helped them so that the lag wasn't very bad, and just watched. And it was basically just a whole lot of great players from different guilds battling it out.
So if you've ever seen someone run 10 wine cellars in a row and not die at all with no healers with them, it was actually pretty amazing. I was very impressed with the players. And on the final run through on day 2, I spawned 2 Oryx 2s in the end of the wine cellar, and everyone loved that. And it was nuts. It lasted like 10 minutes, and everyone survived. I was very impressed.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys have any more events like that in the future that you would like our help with, just let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
Help you guys out. Yeah.
It's really awesome how many of our players host their own events. That's really cool for us. We like to do as many events as we can, but we'll always help you guys out if you post on the forums or if you hit us up.
Yep.
So I think that covers all of our event stuff. We are working on something cool for next week that may or may not have to do with the Olympics, but we're not going to go into details yet. Look forward to that one.
May not. It could just be anything.
It could be anything. We hope that it has to do with the Olympics, but we will find out. So now we're done with community news. Let's move on to game news a little bit. Willem, I think you've got something big that you've been working on. And
well, I've been working on the Ghost Ship, which has now become Davy Jones's Locker. And that will be coming out really soon. It's already out on testing, and we're about to do another push today to testing to do some more balance testing with a new revamp. There's a couple of new enemies now, and everything behaves a little differently. It's a little more dangerous.
Okay, awesome.
And then we also just put up a question on the forums, although this will maybe over by the time we post this podcast. But right now you can go on the forums and you can vote to see when we put out the key for this dungeon, because the Ghost Ship dungeon is basically done, and we're just kind of sitting on it, but we haven't made the encounter yet that drops in the world. So we thought we'd give you guys, the community, the option to decide whether you want the key to come out early while we finish up the encounter, or whether you want us to hold on to it and release them both at the same time.
Cool.
Yeah, so if that poll's still open and you're listening to this, go let us know what you think, because we really want to find out.
Yeah.
We've been running the Ghost Ship a lot recently. We've been going on testing and running it with players. It's really cool.
I think a new build's going out right now, so when we get back to the desk,
Awesome. When we get
try it
back there,
again.
we'll do it one more time.
Lots of great feedback. Shoot us a message if you have feedback on it, or just in the game.
Yeah, players seem to love it, though. So
Just
it's
run
really
up to
cool.
us and shout about it and let us
Oh
know
yeah,
what you think.
we really like it when you just come up to us in the game and just start private messaging us. It's amazing.
It's nice. It can be. It's hard when everyone's doing it at once.
Yeah.
I do apologize for when 1,000 people are trying to talk to me at once, and I'm getting 50 private messages, and I respond really sporadically and terribly to all of them at once.
Yeah.
Or to the wrong person.
Yeah, we try really hard to give you guys all the answers that you asked for, and
Exactly.
it gets overwhelming.
Yeah, we're not trying to neglect you or anything like that, or ignore you. It's just that we get a ton of private messages all at once.
There's always the option to send us an in-game or an in-forum message too if you don't get a response from us. So.
And there's not to always direct everyone to the support page, but you can also submit tickets to support if you have problems with the game. We will the GMs will definitely help you.
Or if you ate a good taco, because
We always want to hear about good taco
and where they
experiences.
came from. Take pictures, tweet to us.
Particularly if you're in the Bay Area.
Yes, exactly. Or if you've had it on a local Bay Area food truck.
We'll get to the food trucks in just a second, I think, once we start talking to Travis. Speaking of Travis, let's talk to you just briefly. I know that you are working on something and that you can't quite talk about it, but you want to drop a few hints for everyone what you're doing?
Yeah, so I am working on something. It'll be coming up after the Ghost Ship, so the players can look forward to some new content after that. But at the moment, I don't want to give away too much. I can say that it has to do with science.
Are you going to blind us with science?
Maybe I will blind you with
It
science.
might be weird science.
Yeah.
Weird
Or,
science.
or strange science? It's weird science.
No, it's
It's
weird
definitely
science.
weird science,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
like
doubted
that
myself
movie.
for a moment.
Not strange science. Come on. Okay, was that all you can say about it right now?
That's all I can say right now.
It's pretty cool. We can say that.
Neat.
Very cool. Scientific cool.
I stand and lurk over Travis's shoulder sometimes to see what he's doing there.
Oh, so that's where the heavy breathing was.
Yeah, that's a creeper.
If you ever hear heavy breathing in the office, it's probably me. So sorry.
That's creepy.
Are you still working on the taco room?
The taco room.
What?
Nobody was supposed to know about that. That's my own secret room.
It's top secret.
That's just a joke, people. It's not really
There is
happening.
no taco room.
It's
Yeah.
too late.
There's already Doritos in the game.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
amazing.
It's
I
It's
found the
open
secret
on
taco room.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, 99 cents.
I don't know if they clamor for it so much, we might have to make one.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You guys let us know on the forums if you want a taco room in Realm.
On Tuesdays.
Tuesday tacos.
On a more serious note, we wanted to check in with Willem a little bit about the duping issue because players have been wondering about what we're doing about it, and we're still trying to figure it out. And I know Willem had a little insight that he could bring to the issue.
I mean, we're working on it. We're very aware of the problem, and we're aware of what's causing it, and we're going to be taking steps to do everything we can to remove it. But part of it is not on our end. Part of it is Google's fault, and so we will do everything we can to make the system foolproof and fail-safe, and hopefully that will get rid of it.
Cool.
So we are working on her.
Spornox is like slapping the,
drunk off
the
of
mic
my-
stand over
my
and over
crystal-
here.
Yeah.
Crystal Geyser, very berry flavor.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it, Spornox?
Was it worth it?
Okay. So again, let's just move on. Whenever Spornox says something really awkward, we'll just move on to the next segment.
Thank you, Dash. Are we talking to Travis now?
No, I think first we are going to talk about random stuff
Right.
because we know that that's what you guys want to hear. So we're going to delve a little bit into what we're playing these days because this is a gaming podcast and we want to talk about games a little bit. So again, let's start with Willem because I know that you might actually be playing some games. You were playing Pokemon Red recently.
Yeah, I'm still playing Pokemon. I mean, right now is a pretty bad game drought, and I'm kind of waiting with bated breath for August to roll around and some games that I actually care about.
What's coming out in August that you're waiting
The Sleeping Dogs is the big one. I also have moderately high hopes for Darksiders 2, but I
for?
wasn't.
Did you play Darksiders 1?
I liked Darksiders 1. I really liked the art style. The combat I found really boring, and I didn't like how they trapped me in this little room and made me fight the same
Yeah,
enemy over
that
and over.
sucked.
So if they fix that, it could be very exciting. So we'll see.
I kind of like Death as the protagonist this time instead of War. I find him a
I
little
don't
more
have a
interesting
strong
looking.
feeling about either.
I just
either
thought
one.
War was a very ugly character model, actually.
I mean, I'm excited about him being a faster character,
Yeah, totally.
but Sleeping Dogs is the one I'm really excited about.
Tiffy Tiff and Spornox are rolling their eyes at us talking about video games. Yeah, I played Sleeping Dogs a few years ago, but I haven't really been keeping up with it recently. I watched
played
it, back at an Activision event like 3 years ago or
this has
something.
probably changed quite a bit. Then
The-
was it?
yeah, it was very.
Was it true crime back then?
Yeah, that was back when it was the true
Okay,
crime.
so I have
game.
a feeling that they've they may have totally reworked it since then.
Yeah, for sure. I was watching gameplay videos last night. It looked really sweet, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm excited.
I may pick that up. I usually don't play that kind of game, but
I try and
this might
play
be-
all games. In fact, I even go for genres that I don't like a lot of times if a game's supposed to be good.
Yeah. So do you play what's a genre you don't like, for example, in a game that you played?
I mean, I didn't used to like fighting games, but I've forced myself to buy so many and play so many that I've actually started to get into them. So
Yeah.
now I like fighting games. I don't like realistic racing games.
Yeah, me neither.
Like Need for Speed Shift is
Yeah.
one. I just don't understand.
You don't
if
care
I'm going,
about
if
like
I'm going
Gran
to go
Turismo
around,
or something.
Yeah, if you're going to go around really fast on a track, I want it to be in some ridiculous fantasy setting. With
Right,
lasers.
exactly. I want to have
Yeah.
green shells that I can throw at the cars in front
It
of me.
doesn't have to be karts, but like I want it to be crazy.
I'll accept a burnout, like a boost meter. If there's a boost meter, I'll take it too. But
Brian, did you play? What's the one where you race through like the apocalypse? I think that it's a PlayStation 3 game. You're racing, and there's like
And everything's
earthquakes
getting
happening,
destroyed around you.
and Buildings are falling down. It's very exciting.
yeah, I actually
Sounds
wrote a
really
review
intense.
for that game like 2 years ago, and I can't remember the name. You put
I'm
me
not,
on the spot there,
I'm not
Will.
talking about Split Stroke Second.
Okay, split second.
I'm not
yeah.
talking about
Okay.
that. I'm talking about a different one.
The Motor Storm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Motorstorm
okay.
Apocalypse. That's it.
Yeah, I didn't play that game. I mean, I played it very briefly at IGN, but I don't have anything to add to the conversation about MotorStorm. Oh my God, we've got one of our producers speaking in the window right now. We won't dare mention his name, but you may meet him on
He's
this
gone,
podcast in the
yeah.
future. So,
Elusive.
Travis, you playing anything?
I am playing. Well, not right now. I just moved, so I have no internet. So
Fun.
it's kind of.
You still got video game consoles, though, right?
I do, but I've played most of those games. I did pick up, because of no internet, I picked up Kingdoms of Amalur again. I put that down a while ago, but I like the open world and the combat of that game.
Yeah, I really wanted to get into that actually, but I just never.
Yeah,
picked that one
it's
up.
a really huge world. It's pretty cool. It has its own fiction that's just completely different from any other game that.
And
I've
that was
played.
fiction R.A. Salvatore wrote, I guess.
Yeah, it was. But it was a pretty cool game. I don't know if you're a fan of open world games, you can check that out. But when I do have internet, I like to play a lot of the competitive MOBA games, so like Dota 2 and League of Legends.
And which one do you like more? I know we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I like Dota 2 more actually.
Yeah, you're a lone LOL detractor in the office here.
I
feel
am.
like.
I have done my time with LoL, but I have moved on, I believe.
I mean, if you walk through this office on any given day, you'll see dozens of screens with LOL playing on there. So either they're playing it themselves or they're watching videos of other people
It was actually
playing.
kind of funny. Yesterday, I overheard all of our QA department talking about League of Legends. So, yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, totally. So let's check in with our other GMs, see what they're playing these days. I don't know if there's much to talk about, but let's see what Tiffy Tiff is up to.
Just Realm, actually. I'm more of a physical person, so you'll see me playing around with my Xbox Connect a lot. Those dancing games. It's where I get all my moves, for the club. And then I also play Rock Band.
We've been led to believe that there's another game that you're really into that you might want to mention.
Like what?
Hopscotch.
Oh my
Oh.
god. I love hopscotch.
And we hear you're kind of the hopscotch master, actually.
Yeah, I'm a pro.
Do they not refer to you as the
I'm a pro at
kangaroo?
the playground. That's what I am.
The playground.
So you hang out at the playground a lot.
And they're like, hey, there's the kangaroo. And you're like, yeah. Yay. Let me draw the chalk.
Yep.
Are you good at drawing the squares in chalk?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Do you use a ruler or do you just kind of go freehand?
Freehand.
Okay.
You gotta
okay.
go freehand.
And what color chalk do you usually use?
I switch it up. Sometimes red, purple.
Wow. They have a lot of different colored chalk nowadays.
They do.
This is just thrilling. Okay, so that's about it for Tiffy's gaming habits. Lots of hopscotch.
Yep.
What about you, Spornox?
Well, I started playing back in the 80s with the original NES, and I just kind of stayed there forever. So, The last game console I purchased myself was the Super Nintendo, and
And you actually bought the Super Nintendo for yourself?
well, actually, my parents bought it for me for Christmas. This was like, what, 89? I don't remember.
Yeah, 90?
Yeah. So I was watching Full House. I was doing, splitting the time between Full House and
Yeah.
Nintendo. And
I feel you, girl.
right.
Yeah.
I loved all the Marios, Mario Kart. I still get out my Super Nintendo every now and then, play a little Mario Kart. Although now with the Wii, which we do have at home, you can play all the old stuff now, which I have done, and I again still have not moved on from. I haven't played any new games since probably about '94.
Now, the 3DS XL is coming out next month, and I think we're going to try and get Spornox to pick
Yeah.
one up so that she can start playing Mario Kart with us in the office.
Definitely excited for that. I think Mario Kart's probably been one of my favorite games forever, and I like the music in it too. Always.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really like the music. Sometimes it goes through my head as I, drive home.
Can you hum a Mario Kart tune for us right
Well, no, my like when you're on the star.
now? The Invincible, yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Well, that was actually great. That was a good rendition of that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
We may use that as our theme song in the future or something. So. That's most of what we've been playing. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing very much either recently. I picked up Mario Galaxy 2 and finished that like a week ago. I feel bad that I hadn't played that before now, but it was just a series of unfortunate events that led to that. And then I got Heroes of Ruin for the 3DS. It's like a Diablo clone, but on 3DS, which is pretty cool because I would love for that kind of gameplay to be on the go, but it's not that good, sadly. I mean, I haven't delved far enough to really know, but I've heard bad things, and I haven't been enjoying it too much, so I'm kind of bummed about that. Once Realm is on the 3DS, well, I'll play that every day.
Yeah, I just want to say that
Don't get too hyped about that.
No current plans for that, so
We need it for
don't
the
hold your breath.
iPhone.
Okay, well, I think that's all of what we've been playing recently. We would talk more about some Batman, probably, but unfortunately, Willem's the only one in the room who's seen Batman, so we can't really go into detail about
Maybe
it.
if you guys,
Willem could give us his spoiler-free review, but his review has
my
a bunch of
review
spoilers
is
in it.
entirely spoilers. So perhaps if the community likes this podcast and wants to hear more, we'll do a spoiler cast next time.
Ooh.
Cool.
So does that mean we all have to go out and watch Batman
We all
before?
have to watch it
Yeah.
next time, but only if they want more. Only if they want it. So let us know if you want.
They'll
to
definitely
hear what
want
we think
more.
about Batman, and we'll maybe go into it next one.
Awesome. Well, let's move on a little bit and finally involve Travis in this discussion. Now, Travis has seen these questions before, unfortunately, but we'll try and catch him off guard because I bet you don't remember
Let's
them.
start
Yeah, I've
from the
forgotten
middle.
already.
We'll start from the middle. That'll throw everyone off because the first question is the most important.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. What's your name? First and last, buddy.
First and last. My name is Travis Boosh.
Wait a second.
Yeah, so first name Travis, and I go by the name Boosh in game. Normally, I'm on the testing realm, so I don't really know if a lot of people have seen me on production.
I've seen you wandering around on testing before, though.
Yeah, on testing, everybody seems to run after me and chase me around, so they definitely know I'm there.
Awesome. Well, what's your nickname? Oh, no,
Oh.
we already went into that. And favorite animal.
Favorite animal? All right, so for favorite animal, I like the birds of prey. I like hawks and eagles and falcons. Just always seemed really cool to me.
Is there a reason for that?
There is a reason. One, they're awesome. And two, my last name is Hawk, so I kind of feel a special connection.
Oh.
That's bonding.
Kindred.
Yeah, that's a connection.
Yeah.
I have a very important question for you. Do you know any place sailors hang out? Any at all? Any sailors or sailor folk or sailors?
I don't know. I think San Francisco might be a good bet.
Near the water, probably.
Yeah, near the water.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Okay,
docks.
That's good.
Do you know anybody else who might know some sailors?
I don't know, but I think you can ask around town. I think you do that a lot.
I usually just wander around town, wander around the office, just asking people where I can find sailors.
It's a good question, and it's always really good to know where you can find them.
in case you need a sailor.
Yeah.
So we'll keep bringing in team members in the future, and we'll make sure to ask them the pertinent questions like,
can you think of anyone else who might know some sailors?
In case anyone doesn't know, this 3 minute long.
Yeah, we'll spend 10 minutes talking about this.
Video game joke is from an old game back in the Dreamcast era.
It's so sad to me to think that that's an old game now, because
That is an old
Shenmue, one of the first games that ever used QuickTime events.
and to awesome effect.
To
as
awesome
well.
effect, a fantastic adventure game that's gameplay was looking for sailors and using QuickTime events.
Yeah. So if you missed out on that one, Dreamcasts are probably really cheap these days,
You
and
can get them on Craigslist for like $20 maybe.
yeah, and probably
Shenmue's
with
harder
the
to find.
entire collection of Dreamcast games.
Shenmue's a little hard to find.
Yeah.
But you can burn games for Dreamcast.
Hey, buddy.
Only legally owned copies of games.
Exactly.
If you've purchased the game in the past and you own it, then you can duplicate it. Legally,
There you go.
I believe. But don't.
This
but,
is true.
but I could be wrong. So look it up before you do anything illegal. and don't do it if it's illegal. Look it up. Look it up,
Yeah,
and
don't
if
do
it's
it.
illegal,
And if it's
don't
illi-
do it. If it's legal, then you can go ahead.
Okay, getting back to Travis.
I believe Tiffany has a question.
Yeah, do you want to ask him something?
Oh, so today was Food Truck Wednesday.
Today was food truck Wednesday.
Yes. So did you go to a food truck today?
I did not go to the food trucks
Wait.
today.
What?
Oh
I
my
know-
God, Travis,
I know
you're
this is
killing me. You're
blasphemous.
killing me.
Can you tell us why?
I actually had some work I had to get done, so
Did you hand your money to someone that was going to the food truck?
No, I had to avail myself of the free lunch that Kabam gives us.
Oh.
So if
no,
you,
the food truck Wednesdays are awesome. I'm sad I missed out.
yeah, if you've ever played with us in Realm or talked to us on the forums or paid any attention to what we're doing in the game, we are totally obsessed with food trucks here at Kabam, and especially on the ROTMG team. So if you've got any favorite food trucks out there that you want to let us know about in the San Francisco Bay Area, please let us know, because we're always looking for new good ones.
And if your name is Koja Kitchen or Senior CC Burrito Truck, do you like my
CC.
Is that supposed to be
I don't know.
something?
It's kind of like Italian. It's CC.
So I think Spornox's point was, if you are at Koja Kitchen or Senor Sisig, give us free food because we want it.
Or just a high five when we're standing in line.
They totally would have given us a high five if you guys weren't so shy about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I told them my name was Blanche, so
That's pretty good.
yeah. It's not, by the way. It's Bornox.
Tiff, do you want to ask another question, or
Sure.
we've got a bunch that we haven't gone through yet?
Oh, what is your favorite realm class? Character class?
My favorite realm character class is probably the sorcerer. I like the class and the red dye. It looks awesome.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
And then his actual spell is really cool too. Cool too. It's the chain lightning one, where it just bounces between tons of different targets. I really like that.
Oh, nice.
And you don't think he's a little underpowered? I know the players have complained about
I'd
it
like
before.
to see him given a little bit more love in the future. But yeah, I know that I'm a big fan of all the ranged like caster classes, so the wizard, necromancer, the sorcerer, and I always feel like the wizard kind of gets top fiddle out of all three of those.
Yeah, totally. Let's talk about this. Do you have any tattoos?
I do have tattoos.
That's awesome, actually. We were really wondering before whether you did, because I don't know. Why do we?
We're just the curious sorts,
All
and
right.
and we do have many questions sometimes.
All the times. So what are your tattoos of, if you don't mind us asking?
I've got 2 tattoos at the moment. I'm a big fan of them, but I just haven't gotten around to getting more. I haven't come up with a design or anything that I really like at the moment. But the 2 that I have, one is a quote from one of my favorite books, Beautiful Losers by Leonard Cohen.
Cool.
And then the other one is a giant hawk.
Oh.
It is quite painful, very large, took quite a bit of time.
Where is that located?
It's across my chest.
Oh my
It's a
God,
very
that's
large one.
nuts. That's nuts.
You know, sailors have tattoos.
They do.
Hence why we asked you where sailors hung out.
When you got your tattoo, did you see any sailors there?
No, I was in the middle of a state that had there's no water around it.
Okay.
You were landlocked at the time?
About sailors is when they're not in their costumes, they just look like
They
regular
just look like people, yeah.
You can't tell.
That's good to know. And keep
That's
in
why
mind.
it's so.
Anyone could be a sailor.
That's why it's so hard to find them.
Yeah, totally. That's why you got to ask everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got plenty of other questions here, but I don't know which are so relevant. Let's talk maybe this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely that one. So you have 2 days of the week, right? You have there's Taco Tuesday and Banana Monday. So which one would you rather have?
Taco Tuesday, all the way.
Oh,
That's not
Good
even a fair
answer.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why you'd ask that question, Smarnox.
I wasn't even aware that Banana Monday is an
Yeah, is Banana Monday a thing?
well, it was self-titled, of course, but
You need
it's
potassium
spread.
to start
Yeah.
your
You do.
work week.
You need potassium, or you're gonna get leg cramps.
What about Sunday?
Oh, Sunday. That's pretty
Oh.
good.
Yeah, I never thought.
That's
of
a
that.
good one.
I'd still choose
That would be
Taco
a tougher-
Tuesday,
I would
though.
choose Taco Tuesday as well, but that'd be a tougher decision, I think, for some,
Yeah.
at least.
Taco Tuesday.
Did you get tacos today, Willem?
I
There was that Asian
I
taco
got a-
truck.
I got a big meat pile.
Oh, really? At the Southern Sandwich Company,
yeah,
or
yeah, I got chicken and pulled pork all
Nice.
mixed together in a
Nice.
big bucket. It was really good.
A large bucket.
Yeah.
You just carry it
the
away.
large meat
The
bucket?
meat bucket pot
I'm telling you,
special.
this food truck is where it's at. These food trucks.
My favorite one was not there today. It made me really sad.
What's your
What's
I
your
was
favorite?
counting on Nom Nom being there, and it's generally there every day.
It is.
Nom Nom is a Vietnamese place. They have Asian tacos and Vietnamese sandwiches.
And you may have actually heard of them because they were featured on the Great Food Truck Race like 2 seasons
I
ago.
wasn't aware of
So
that.
yeah,
They're really good.
they came in second
should
place.
watch it.
You should
Yeah,
watch it. It's a
awesome.
very good show actually. Tyler
Do
Florence
they
hosts
race
it.
them?
Yeah.
Like a car race? Like around
Yeah.
the track?
They don't. Well,
Or-
no, they don't race like that. But they go across the country. They have
Yeah.
challenges like
Oh,
in
I was
Top
hoping
Chef
it
or
was like
something.
NASCAR, but
Yeah,
no.
totally. But with food trucks.
Yeah.
It was actually put together. I thought Nom Nom season was totally unfair, and they should have won that. But we can talk about that another
Yeah.
time. Do we have any more questions for Travis?
What? When did we ask this? When did you start working on Realm?
So
Oh, yeah, and what's your job title and what do you do?
So
let's talk about
I
that a little bit.
am a game designer on Realm, and I started working on it a little bit after Kabam picked Realm up. So I've been working basically since we picked it up. I've been getting up to speed on everything and how Realm functions. Willem's been helping me out with that, and I've also been working on my own stuff for Realm now. But I've been playing Realm for quite a while. I know since last year, a lot of the people in the office here were playing Realm of the Mad God, just in their free time whenever they had like 15 minutes or 20 minutes of downtime. So everybody here loved the game, and that's one of the reasons we are interested in acquiring the game.
Yeah, totally. I remember you walk around and see everyone playing. That was kind of cool. It was really neat to hear that we had picked up the game after that because I just knew that everyone liked it so much, which was fun. Do we have another question for him? No, I think we're done with questions for Travis. Wow, that's amazing.
That's pretty easy.
So coming up, we've got a bunch more questions, but not ones that we wrote, rather ones that the players wrote, and those will mostly be directed at Willem, so be prepared for that, Willem.
Okay, I'm ready.
So we're going to dive into questions, and Tivy Tiv is going to lead us off.
Okay, so we got a question from Mama Luigi. It's about new pets. A couple of friends and myself have been wondering when the new pets will be released. Anybody know?
Yeah, the new pets are in the game, and they're going to be showing up very shortly. They were going to be showing up this week, but we noticed that some of them were hovering strangely, and so we're
Okay.
investigating that, and they'll be out as soon as the pets stay on the ground.
This next question is from our friend Luca. I noticed that the tier 13 and 14s have been in the coding since roughly build 120. However, they have not ever been released. with some exceptions. BMJ's dire hatred and a few lucky individuals on the testing server. I'm assuming that the devs are planning to release them eventually. So my question is, when?
We don't know if we're planning on releasing those eventually, and if we do release them, we might entirely redesign them and change them. It's likely that they'll be released. They'll be a little more themed or a little more special, and so we might redesign them when we do. But we're not thinking about that currently.
We asked this question mainly because we, the three GMs, did not exactly understand what they were talking about.
Right. There's a few more parts to this question too.
I think.
Yeah.
Skip them.
Yeah.
Skip them.
Okay.
The crux of it was answered. So.
The crux was there.
Okay, so now it's my question. This question comes from Matty Fatty. Is anything going to be done about the bots advertising their shops in the Nexus? This is something that we have talked about a lot around here, and go ahead and give us some kind of answer.
Yeah, I mean, we clearly don't like it, as basically nobody likes it, and we are working on some solutions, but we're really just kind of talking about it right now. We haven't started to put anything into action.
But notice that we do recognize that people don't like it, and we don't like it either.
We don't like it either.
Yeah.
So something may be done. Next question.
Okay, so this question is from @Zakara00. What direction do you plan to take the UTs in? Keep them rare and specialized? Common small variations or something else?
Are you asking, will they start becoming common? Is that...
Well,
the
Zakara00 is asking something.
The idea behind the untier weapons is that they're unique in some way or special. They kind of don't fall into the normal convention. Often they're good, but there are untiered weapons that are just like kind of run-of-the-mill mid-range style. And what makes it untiered is that they have something different about them. They have a different functionality, or they don't quite fit into the scheme. And we're just going to keep... adding them in that same fashion, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This question comes to us from Linkshot. Do you have plans to pick Rob's old projects back up, specifically the Dreamscape, Labyrinth, and the Ranger class?
No, Dreamscape Labyrinth is dead. It's been dead for a while. It basically had almost no work done on it, so it never really... I don't know...
Yeah.
That project was started before I came on to Realm, and so I don't know exactly how much work had been done on it, but when I investigated the files, it was... there's basically nothing on it. So I think that we're probably... If we do make some sort of level like that, it will likely just be a similar theme, and we'll just restart it from scratch so we can make sure it's really more designed and more awesome.
Cool.
What was the second part?
Ranger class.
Ranger class. I do want to make more classes, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I've got another question from Hype Vosa, and it is titled, this question has a title, Offering a Better Product. It only takes a simple search of the forums and a little Googling to find that there are tons of amazing add-ons and features one can get for ROTMG. Some are legitimate, like BMJ's quick speech and the cursor that shows your hit point percentage, and others not so much, like the various hacks that have features such as blah, 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 blah. Either way, there are dozens of incredibly useful features that can be found that help with the game, not talking about auto-loot, aim, wall hack, etc. Do you think you guys will ever integrate some of these features in the game to make it more enjoyable? And... the rest of it is kind of him rambling. So
I think that we're actually looking at the UI right now and kind of the user flow and thinking about items and pickups and how you use potions and things like that, and just trying to think about how we can make it more convenient and just flow better. Because like, there's two ways that you can go about solving problems like hack clients. One way is to try and put in fail-safes and traps that like stop people from hacking. But the better way to do it is to just make the things that the people want that they're getting that clients for in the game and more convenient. So we're definitely looking into that. And I think that over the next couple months, you guys are going to start seeing little improvements that make the game better in that regard.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Kabam's tactic on other games as well. So I think it makes sense for Realm too.
Yeah.
Next question?
Next question comes from Toadstool. What is your opinion on the Sorcerer class? Do you think they need a buff?
Travis talked about the Sorcerer class a little bit earlier, but...
Yeah, so I like the Sorcerer class, and personally I feel that they are a little underpowered or underutilized when compared to the other ranged classes like the wizard. It's so I'd like to see some love towards the sorcerer, but I don't know if that's on the roadmap anytime soon, though.
I mean, yeah, we should have a talk about it. I did just recently rebalance the classes, and has been out for long enough that it's probably time to take a look at that and see how the changes have been going, and maybe make some more little tweaks, and maybe that'll be one of the things we get into.
Sweet.
All right, speaking of classes, Kizwatts asked, are you planning on adding a new class in the near future?
Although
I already answered that.
he answered that question.
Yes,
already,
I would like
so-
to add more classes. I don't know when they're going to come. We have a lot of things ahead of us, so I'm pushing for it, and it will happen eventually.
Okay.
This next question is not quite a question, and it comes from us from Cordibato. Does anyone else want to take a stab at pronouncing that, or do you think I did it?
I'm going to say Cordibato.
Oh, that's kind of what I said, but
Coordibato.
okay.
Cordy Bato.
So Cordibato starts out, not a question. Make endgame content. WoW-style raids where you need a whole team or you are effed. Something like you have to send a trickster so a knight can stun and then Pally Warrior boost to do damage. Yup. And the yup was definitely part of his not question.
Thanks for writing in Cordobato, or Cordy. Cordy, I'm just going to call you Cordy. We aren't doing that exactly, but I do have plans for some endgame content, and you'll probably be hearing about that sometime in the next few months.
So Cordy, you should be happy with that answer to your non-question.
You'll be happy. It'll make you happy.
So here is a question from Ma.
Did you give that enough actually?
Or
Ma. There's 5 A's there. I don't know how long of an Okay, good. And the question is?
The question is, will events like the Valentine Heart and the April Fool's Oryx happen every year, or was that a one-time deal? My birthday is on April Fool's Day and never logged on Realm. Them duck staffs. Are you enjoying Realm? Which is each dev GM's favorite
So
class?
as we read this question and look at you guys, it's actually kind of posed towards the GMs,
Good
not
thing
towards
we-
you. So
Yeah.
Go for it.
who is going to go for it first? Tiff, you asked the question, so
Well, yeah, we'll definitely be running more events.
we'll be running
Yeah.
events nonstop, pretty much.
Pretty much nonstop.
Yep.
If
Every
you're
day.
born on a holiday and you like Realm, you should log on because
Yes.
there will be something happening.
Oh, definitely. And even if you were just born on any day, you should log on that day, and there will probably be something happening then too. What is our favorite class? I like the Paladin.
I like the Archer, actually.
Oh, really?
I really do.
You
I like
didn't
the
like the
Wizard.
Archer at all
I
at
know,
first.
but I think it was the first one I leveled to 20 with.
You like the Wizard.
Wizard,
Well, Wizard's
yeah.
high DPS. So.
Yeah.
Next question? Is it me? Oh, it's
No,
me. Oh, no,
I
no,
have
you're
Smurf
blue. You're blue. I'm pink.
Smurf
Sorry.
blue, yeah. Okay. This is Pale Rider. The top left branch of the Nexus, whilst pretty, is empty, apart from the occasional semi-private conversation taking place. Are there any plans to put anything in there?
That area definitely is not being used for anything right now. We are thinking about, while we're going to be adding new features and things like that, and Realm expands over the next couple months. Everyone in the office kind of has a feeling that the Nexus might need a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of redesign, and I think it's more likely that we'll just do kind of an overall buff on the Nexus than specifically just attach that one area or attack that one spot. But yeah, it could use a little tweaking.
Yeah, we hang out and have secret parties in that corner sometimes.
We
so,
do.
Yeah.
I do like having a social area.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, is it my question now?
Yes.
This is a really good question. Frozen Cubass, are you going to answer all these questions? Because there are just too many. And the answer to that is no. We're only going to answer the ones that we read on the air.
Selected.
So, yeah.
The next question comes from Fratter.
Or Farter.
Or
Farter if you're
Freighter?
dyslexic.
Yeah.
Freighter if you want to try and... I don't know.
I like Farter.
Farter. Okay, the next question's from Farter.
Okay. If a bear and a shark had a fight, who would win?
I don't know. Is it on land or is it in the water?
Exactly.
This is the issue we've been talking about all day.
Let's assume it's in space. Equal playing field.
All right.
Travis?
If it's in space, I think the bear would. No, wait, actually,
I think a shark would
I
live
think
longer
the
in space than a bear would, even though they both die pretty fast.
Let's assume that they can. It's all right.
yeah, I actually think it would be the shark then, because the shark has the fins, it can maneuver.
Well, it's
almost-
space though, so you
Yeah.
can't
No,
really
there's no
maneuver.
Yeah,
We'll
but
go for
I
the
think that
chocolate.
it could maneuver better than a bear in space.
Okay. I mean, maybe sharks can apply internal torque or something and flip around. I don't know.
I just imagine the bear's just flailing around trying to move, and the shark's just swimming.
Yeah.
Swimming at him through space, chomping down.
Yeah.
So I hope that you got what you wanted out of this question, Farter, because there's not much more we can go into.
Well, let's put a little twist on it. Let's say the bear's name is Hank. The shark's name is Jeffrey.
Well, that changes everything.
So it's actually Hank versus Jeffrey.
Round one, fight. Huh? Anyone? No?
Jeffrey, because
Jeffrey's gonna
he
take
has
him.
more letters in his name.
And he goes by Jeffrey. And it's with a J. It's not a G.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that's the end of that question. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
So that brings us to our
Last
final question.
This final question has a couple questions, and it's by it's submitted from our player named Seven. So the first one is, what's the sole purpose of the Oryx statue existing, and will it have an impact of significance in the future?
The Oryx statue is just an Easter egg. So, for those of you who don't know what Easter eggs are in games or in software, it's just a little treat that you can find if you hunt around for it. And probably isn't going to go too much farther than that.
All right. Then during the earliest time of ROTMG, there was once a hot springs generated in the mountains. I wonder if it will make a return?
I didn't even know about that. That's cool. I'll have to look it up. If you
Oh,
guys,
we meant to print out pictures of these things for you too to bring here. I forgot.
Yeah, Seven did.
Seven
submit
submitted a
Yeah.
screenshot, so I can show
if
that
you guys
to you.
have any, send in screenshots of the hot springs. I'll take a look. If it looks cool, maybe it'll show back up.
It did actually look pretty cool.
And they Seven also would like to know if we acknowledge the existence of the secret sheep level.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't.
There was also a screenshot, a purported screenshot, but I don't know how they would have gotten this screenshot of some super secret
No comment.
sheep level.
No
Yeah.
comment.
Seven also ends his questions with a thanks to us, so I figure that's a good point.
We
to-
salute you, Seven.
So thanks to all of the players who wrote in questions,
Yeah.
and thanks to everyone else who sat down and listened to this whole thing. We really appreciate it. And we're hoping to bring you more of these in the future, so let us know how you liked it in the comments. We should have a forum thread. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
I don't know how to close this out right now,
Tell
so
your
I'm going
mom.
to keep talking until we all decide that we're done here, but I think we're done.
Oh, it's Taco Tuesday, so we have to go get some tacos.
You lie. It's like 4 p.m. We're not eating tacos.
Yeah.
Well, this would be an appropriate time maybe for sound effects or.
Oh yeah, I'll
yeah,
throw
the
some
teacher
things
will
in here
have
so
some
that it
sound
sounds a little
effects.
better as we get.
Sailors.
Yeah.
Sailors.
I'm looking for sailors who work with Chinese ships.
Yeah, you can follow us at ROTMG_news and at Willem Rosenthal. Yeah. And anyone else have a Twitter they want to throw out there? I've got at @reindeer if someone wants to follow that too. See,
I'm
Dash
at-
is everywhere.
I'm at sitcom this.
I'm at Out of Tune.
But please follow us.
Yeah. More important to do ROTMG
Yes.
news.
Yes.
And please write into us, write in on the forums, start a topic, let us know what you think of the podcast and what you'd like to hear on it in the future.
We hope to keep these going for a long time now, so thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you, sirs.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.